which is Broodmother, and Anti-Mage will just rip Broodmother apart, and even Doombringer, once he gets a Doom off, just completely destroys Broodmother. So MYM are going to win, and going to need to win in the first 25 minutes of the game, or they're pretty much boned. So let's get into the game. So let's see, Come With Me picks up an early Smoke and Deceit. They're obviously going to try to get a gank once they solidify the lanes. Probably gank the mid soul, who's probably going to be Omni Knight in this case. That's just my guess, because Omni Knight usually solos mid, and once it gets stolen, you can sort of stay there indefinitely and just heal so much and stay in the lane. I'm going to be interested to see what Playmates items will be in the Omni Knight. Oh, looks like Omni Knight's actually going to the bot lane, so... And you can see this early Ring of Protection. This clearly means that he's going to pick up an early Ring of Basilius, probably go for Arcane Boots instead of the Soul Ring. Soul Ring is more accepted on Omni Knight just because he gets a free heal every 20 seconds or so. But Basilius into Arcane Boots is very much a team pushing slash team fountain sort of item. Basilius combined with the Crystal Mane Aura will just give Omni Knight so much mana regen, and Arcane Boots will help heal the pushing team's mana to its brink. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if Venomancer or Chen picked up an additional pair of Arcane Boots just so MYM can push all the more faster. So we are going to see Chen in the defensive jungle. We're going to see Crystal Mane help Omni Knight. In this case, they're going to give Omni Knight the farm he needs, get Basilius, probably get Arcane Boots, skip the Soul Ring. We're going to see Broodmother Soul top against Lacoste Invoker. And we're going to see Demon. Venomancer is going to try to combat 1437's Anti-Mage. Now, this is a smart, sensible guess by OK.Nirvana. They expected Omni Knight to be in the mid lane, and Omni Knight can't do much if all his mana is being drained by an Anti-Mage, but it's going to be different. MYM chose their lanes wisely. They decided to put, hey, let's put the Venomancer rather than the Omni Knight. We have a bit of range. We have passive harass with Poison, Sting, and Venomous Gale, and if he levels up high levels of wards, Anti-Mage, being not a very tanky hero at all, can't really do too much against it. So they decided to bring the Lich down. You saw Lich actually at the bottom lane deny the first creep to prevent Omni Knight from getting much experience, but then he transitioned to the mid lane. Meanwhile, we see Misery and Lacoste duel it up out top. So this is the lane where I feel OK.Nirvana has to win, because they're already sort of forfeiting the bottom lane. Omni Knight, Crystal Mane, Chen, and Broodmother can hold his own against Invoker, especially if Invoker is not going for high DPS. He's going for more of the high mobility Invoker that is so favored in the Chinese scene. Also, I should mention that I has been seeing a lot of play, most recently due to the Chinese introduction. I think World Elite picked it against Tyloo, and they just sort of dominated, and that has sparked a resurgence in the Omni Knight usage. And we see Playmate already picking up a fast ring of Basilius. So I'm just going to keep my eyes out close on the minimap, because First Blood won't be as important as Towers, but nobody wants to miss First Blood anyway. And Demon's doing a good job holding his own. Lich doesn't want to come up too close because he doesn't want to pull the creeps too far away, screwing up 1437's last hitting. But he does need to harass the Venomancer with his Poison, with his Frost Nova, and with his superior attack range. But Venomancer is doing the smart thing. He doesn't have to win this lane. He just has to try not to die and just get a high level of Plague Ward. He's already picked up level 2 Plague Ward at level 3. So a really smart defensive pushing oriented Venomancer, which is what MYM needs. Meanwhile, Misery is farming it up. We see Melk getting some creep poses. Melk really needs to be at level 5 so he can get those 2 additional creeps. In this case, Melk is not really as effective as an Enchantress, although he does get to keep the creeps that he uses. But Enchantress can come out of the jungle at level 1 with the 2 creeps right off the bat. But Chen is more of a utility sort of all-purpose hero, where he doesn't do as much DPS and he doesn't get as many creeps as early on as Enchantress, but he does provide a significant amount of healing, and with his Holy Persuasion allowing the team to heal up at the fountain whenever he wants, he's useful in his own way. Meanwhile, we see Playmate rushing forward, scaring off the Doom and the Vengeful Spirit, and looks like MYM is going to go for a push right off the bat. Meanwhile, nope, just some Venomancer wards. You can see the passive harass by the wards already whittling down 1437's HP to below half, and it's obvious that MYM is going to pick up this tower. Let's see who gets the last hit. They obviously want Playmate to get the last hit, and let's see what's going to happen. Playmate does get the last hit. A strong opening for MYM. They picked up a tier 1 tower in about 3.5 minutes, which is pretty on pace. They want to get probably all outer exterior towers by 15 minutes, so they can start sieging the base, and they have to prevent the anti-mage from getting too much farm at all. Meanwhile, we see Venomancer just doing a magnificent job, just throwing down a siege of play wards, preventing the anti-mage from getting up too close. Anti-mage does a weird blink cancel there, I couldn't catch that. And we're going to see just Playmate and Mania sort of push out the top lane even more, preventing Doom from getting some farm that he needs. You can see on the night, although being in a tri lane, with Chen being in the jungle, with Crystal Main being so far back, he's a full level up on the Doombringer. Meanwhile, Misery is holding his own against Lacoste up top. That's probably going to be the least exciting lane to watch. I'm going to focus most of my attention on the mid lane, where I see Demon being jumped on by 1437 in Lich, or 1437 in Universe, but he just throws down Venomous Scale, and Anti-Mage is too low of HP to help pursue. Meanwhile, Playmate and a double damage Chen are going to push this tower very hard. A Furbolg is going to help that pretty well. Furbolgs do a lot of damage, and they're pretty scary. Nobody wants to get the clap, man. Nobody wants to get the clap. So we see Misery just cutting off the creep wave with the Soul Ring. Yeah, he probably went for Lacoste, but Lacoste ghost walked away, which is the smart thing to do, although he's giving Misery a lot more creep kills and probably get a tower kill. And Scourge is going to have to do something. They don't really have any AoE presence, so they have to teleport around and make sure that Lacoste or mid wins their lane. And right now, I'd say Demon's probably winning his lane. I mean, in order to win his lane, he just has to not die. I mean, sure, Anti-Mage is out farming him, but since Demon hasn't died, he's a level ahead. And, of course, Anti-Mage needs so many items. I wouldn't be surprised to see Anti-Mage skip the Vanguard, may just keep the stat shield for damage block, go straight for a Battle Fury to help clear out creep waves, to help avoid the push. Although Vanguard is the smart choice, it allows him to be a little bit more tankier. If he gets just like a naked Battle Fury by level 9, he'll probably have like 700 HP or something stupid. 800 or 900. Meanwhile, we see Playmate fight off Lacoste. Let's see if Playmate can get the kill. Nope. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage and Lich. Nope, I mean Misery, sorry. Misery fight off Lacoste. Misery gets hit a couple times, but I guess his Soul Ring was on cooldown because he couldn't nuke. Meanwhile, we see Omni Knight and Mania go against Fear. Fear has not been getting much farm at all. He's only at 18 creep kills, 6 minutes in the game. That's around 3 a minute, a little bit less than 3 a minute. You can see the multitude of Plague Wards being thrown down by Demon. I mean, they're already level 3 Plague Wards. They have a lot of HP, and Anti-Mage can't really go up to attack them without taking at least 40 to 50 points of damage before he kills one. So very smart move by Demon, just throwing the wards down, not right next to the tower where the tower can attack it, but just sort of keeping them at a defensive, or sort of aggressive / defensive position where he can still do a lot of damage, excuse me, to the oncoming creep wave, but they're not close enough to be hit by the tower except for that ward. Meanwhile, Playmate has a double damage room. He did pick up the Arcane Boots. I really like that choice. I was going to pick up so much mana. Oh, I just caught the last hit in that first split attempt. I apologize. But meanwhile, you could see that Vengeful Spirit was forced to come in and get 1437 a kill, and they really need this Anti-Mage to farm up as fast as possible, and Battle Fury would be a good choice in this game. Battle Fury is mostly dismissed as a pub item, but in this game it'll be really effective in helping clear out Chen creeps, help clear out Broodmother's spawn spiderlings, and just be good in helping to turtle, which is what Scourge is obviously going for. Meanwhile, we saw Misery take out the top tier 1 tower, so MYM picking up 3 towers in less than 7.5 minutes. That's really fast pushing by MYM, which is what they need to do. And Demon's just providing some ample harass on the 1437, but Mania comes around with the Frost Nova. Anti-Mage's nuke is probably on cooldown. Let's see if Anti-Mage will die. Anti-Mage will die to Demon's Poison Nova, but meanwhile Misery dies. But if Anti-Mage dies, that's really all Sentinel really care about. They don't really need the Broodmart to get too much farm. They just need to take towers as fast as possible and keep the Anti-Mage down, which they did very successfully. Anti-Mage obviously had a level 1 blink. His blink wasn't off cooldown, so he couldn't uplink away and save himself. Right now the score is 2-1 in favor of Scourge, but just look at the tower count. Already 4 towers for the MYM team, and it looks like they're going to try to transition in taking the mid tower, picking up their 5th tower. And in this case, I think Scourge got outpicked. They don't really have AoE heroes to help stop the push. They have Doom, who just turned level 6 a little bit, only has phase boots, and he can Doom a hero, but with all the multitude of healing with Omni Knight, with Chen, and all of that Doom, and with all the early tower gold helping boost up MYM's items, MYM will be able to survive Dooms pretty effectively. Meanwhile, I see Misery going right back to top lane, trying to push it down the top lane. I mean, with that sort of mini push, they have already taken down the tower to about like an 1/8 of an HP left. It's almost in deny range. Let's see. Yeah, it is in deny range. Let's see if MYM will go to get this deny. Yep, Mania does get the last hit, which is probably not what they wanted, but they get the tower gold. That's all that matters. And Mania will be a little bit more tankier. We'll get some wards. We'll probably finish up the magic wand, and all that will be really effective. Meanwhile, team fight breaks out. Chain Frost Doom goes on the Omni, which is a smart choice. Universe, the Lich gets a nice Chain Frost, picking off a Demon, and a Tornado helping ensure the kill for Lacoste on the doomed Omni Knight. So, but this really doesn't matter, because even though MYM heroes are dying, Scourge heroes have to be all grouped up. I mean, surely Milk will die. Sorry, Lich dies to Misery and Demons, leftover Demon. But yeah, we saw Lacoste and Fear take down Milk. But it doesn't really matter for kills, because already 10 minutes into the game, Scourge basically has 1/3 of an exterior tower left. And that's all MYM wants. I mean, the score is 2-5. Let's check out the levels really fast, because levels are really important in a push-heavy game, because the pushing team will obviously group as 5. But with Demon and with Broodmother, or with Venomancer and Broodmother, who can sort of push by themselves, they're going to have high levels nonetheless. And you can see that Broodmother is actually the highest level in the game. And overall, like, aside from Crystal May and Chen, the Sentinel are doing a solid job in keeping up with the Scourge levels. So this is going all right for MYM. 1437 picked up a Vanguard. I really need to see him make a Battle Fury. Like, I know Battle Fury is sort of a scrub item. We see Misery being jumped on by Doom. Let's see if his web is on cooldown. The Tornado by Lacoste misses, but Misery gets Frost Noed, and he's going to get hit a couple times, and Universe, the Lich, does get the last hit. So Misery does die. So that provides a little bit of a setback. They can't really sort of push lane by itself with the Spiderlings and sort of force the Scourge to defend. So a very fun, action-packed game so far. Not really many kills, but a lot of subtle plays, a lot of strong pushing by MYM, and it's really shaping up to be an interesting game. Let's see if MYM can get themselves back into this series and try to at least get themselves on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, Playman is trying to get some farm. He's going for a Mechanism, a smart choice. Although Doombringer chose the right choice. They doomed the Omni Knight, and although Omni Knight is probably tankier, Omni Knight without heals is not really too threatening at all. I mean, he only does 76 damage at level 7, which isn't really too high. And healing in the push strat is sort of what they're counting on. They can't count on... I mean, in that last push, Chen wasn't even level 6, so Chen picking up level 6 is very important in counteracting the Doom, and he does pick up an armor creep in the Wildkin, and he picks up a very tanky, scary bear creep in the Ursa Warrior. So we're going to see Playmate and Misery sort of push out this lane, try to get this tower, and with that,